All right, let's look at number 8 here. It's Amar Naval Belibo Ein Elohim Hishchitu Hith Ivu Al Alila Ein Ose Tov. All right, so we have a form of Amar. This is probably the most frequent verb in the Hebrew Bible. Amar, to say. So is this the Kal, Nifal, Pial, Pual? What are we looking at here? That's right. Good old Kal. Got that long A under root 1. So someone said, Kal perfect, 3MS. Who said? Naval said. Now, does he tells you what the meaning of Naval here is? Is that? Yep. So it's a fool. So a fool said, in libo, in his lib, in his heart. Okay? Now here's the deal. Remember, the Kal perfect is usually past time. But in circumstances where we have sentences that are providing things that are what we might say proverbially true, the perfect could have a present tense translation, where this is something that always happens. So this might be a fool says in his heart, okay, as a matter of course. And what does he say? Here's the quotation in his heart. Ein Elohim. What's that mean? So there is no God. Remember, yesh and ein are the ways we translate there is and there is not, right? There are and there are not. Okay, so the next thing we have is the commentary of the psalmist here, okay? So the quotation ends at this point. This is what the fool says. And now here's what he thinks about such fools. Hishchitu. So here's one of our new verbs from shachat. And what stem is this with the hey prefix? Hifil. Which conjugation in the hifil where the hey's visible and I got an I-class vowel? That's hifil perfect. Okay? And then the shurik tells me it's 3CP. Now, what does this mean in the hifil? Shachat? Yeah, it has to do with perverting, corrupting. Okay? So I would suggest that this probably has an inner causative idea. So they have made themselves perverse. They have perverted themselves. Or maybe something like they have become perverted. And then we have hit ivu, which is a verb that you don't know, but the roots tav, ayin, beit are related to a noun you've learned, to'eva. Do you remember to'eva? That's right. To'eva, an abomination. So they have acted abominably, or they have made abominable, and then alila, here, he gives you the meaning of that under C, wanton deed. So they have made a wanton deed abominable. Perhaps that's to be understood as a direct object. Or it could be adverbial. They have made, they have acted abominably with a wanton deed. Just meaning that they have done evil things. And then lastly, we have ein ose tov. Ein again, there is not. Ose, there's a verb with 3 root letters and a holum with root 1. That is a Kal participle. All right? Holum sere. No ending, masculine singular. So there is no doer, one doing, no one who does. Tov, who does what? Good. Good. Okay? So remember, my participles can function substantively. And that's the idea. There is not a doing good one. Okay? So that's the translation. So this is from Psalm 14. You guys have read that in English, I think, probably. That's what it looks like in Hebrew. Let's look at number 7 here. We have Betach ba'Adonai Eloheinu Kol Yemei Chayecha V'Hashlech et Hara. Okay, so here's Betach. We've already seen that verb now in our what number was that? That was number 5. So we get to see it again. Here I have a vocal shava under root 1. What form am I looking at here for this verb? It is a cal imperative. Okay? Cal imperative. Betach. The cal perfect would have a long A here, right? The imperative gets a vocal shava. The infinitive construct also gets a vocal shava, but then it would have a holum for root 2 in the cal. Okay, so this is a cal imperative with no ending. It's 2ms. How am I going to translate this? Trust. It's a command. Trust, ba'Adonai, trust in Adonai, Eloheinu. What's the new here? Yeah, that's our, pronominal suffix, 1CP. So trust in the Lord our God. Kol Yemei Chayecha. What's kol? All. Yemei? Okay, this is the days of, because I have what kind of an ending here? That's a Canadian ending, so that's masculine plural construct, right? So I have a construct chain. Kol is the first part, Yemei is the second part, and Chayecha is the third part. So when I have a multi-part construct chain, all of the forms are the construct except for the final form, right? The final one is the absolute. Can I put articles on anything that's in the construct state? No, absolutely not. Only the final one could take an article. How will I know if the construct forms are definite? I have to look at the last form and ask, is that definite? If so, all the construct forms are definite too. So, is Chayecha definite? It is, not because of an article, but because of a pronominal suffix. Okay? So I'm going to translate this as all the days. All the days of Chayecha, of your what? What is it? All the days of your life. Okay? Now we have to remember something here. The word for life is Chayim. Okay? Chayim. That is actually plural in form, singular in our translation. Remember the word face is panim, plural in form, but singular in translation. Okay? So even though this is a plural form, and that's why you've got the yod before the ka, you want to translate it singularly. Okay? It's not all the days of your singular you, as if you were Morris the cat with 9 lives. Those of you that are old enough to remember the commercial, it's not all the days of your lives, but your life. Okay? We're talking to one person. We're telling one person to trust in the Lord all the days of you individual, all the days of your life. Okay? And then the next instruction here comes in the form of this verb, v'hashlech. What are my 3 root letters? Shalach. Good. I have a hey prefix in front of it, so I need to be thinking what stem? Hifil. I have an A-class vowel here. Can that be the Hifil perfect? No. I need an I-class vowel if it's a Hifil perfect, right? So this is, what are the other 3 possibilities where the hey is visible? Imperative, infinitive construct, infinitive absolute. Now notice I had an imperative to begin my sequence of sentences. Trust. So that gives me the presumption that I'm continuing to command, right? And that would make good sense here. So trust in the Lord and throw, cast, fling. What? What are we supposed to throw? Et ha ra. What's ra? Evil, right? This is an adjective. Ha ra, this is the article, right? Ha ra, the evil, which could then be translated as an abstract idea. Throw evil, meaning what is evil? Anything evil, or evil itself, meaning throw it away, throw it out, cast it out, cast it away. Okay? So throw out evil, or what is evil. So my adjective ra is functioning as a noun here because it's the direct object of throw. All right? Any questions about this? So number 11, we'll take this in bite-sized chunks here. We have all, tash pehu dam, hashlihu oto, el habor haze asher bamidbar. Okay, and we'll stop there for now. All right, so I have all in front of what looks like an imperfect verb form. What does all mean? What's all? It's like lo. Yeah, it's not. It's a negative particle. It's what you use to negate some verb forms. Does all ever negate the imperfect? No. If I have all and I have what looks like an imperfect, and here I've got my 3 root letters with a prefix tav and a shurik, it must be jussive and not imperfect. Okay? So this is a jussive. Prefix tav shurik is 2MP. I've got the standard vowel pointing for the cal jussive. Tis pahu. Think pakad. Tif kadu. Tif kadu, right? So what does shafach mean? You guys remember this? We had this a couple chapters ago. To shed or pour out. Dam as the direct object, do not shed blood. Okay? Hash lihu otho. Here's another set of 3 root letters. Here I have a hey prefix and a shurik. I know that's a hifil, right? Vowel is a. So this has got to be what? Hifil. Could be imperative, infinitive, construct, or absolute. Can I put a shurik on the infinitives? The answer is no. This is imperative 2MP. What does shalach mean in the hifil? To throw, fling, cast, right? So here's a command to a group of you. What is he saying? Throw, otho, him, direct object, right? Throw him, where? El habor, into the bor, which he tells you is a pit, right? Footnote F. Throw him into the pit, haze. Which pit? Yeah, this is the near demonstrative, right? This. The pit, this. Throw him into this pit. Asher bamidbar, which in the wilderness. Okay? Now, what do you have to supply here? You have to supply the subject, it, and you have to supply the copula. Throw him into this pit, which the pit, is in the wilderness. Okay? Because Asher introduces relative clauses. So this is a whole clause, but it's a clause that's missing its copula, its verb of being. All right? So you guys know the story here, right? This is the Joseph story. And now we have v'yad. What is a yad? Hand. Okay? And I have all, which is another negator, and tishlechu bo. There's a verb, shalach, with a prefix tav and a shurik. It looks like an imperfect, but all is in front of it. So it's got to be what? It's got to be Joseph. The same tav shurik that I had over here. So this is 2MP, right? What stem is it? Look at the kirik and the silent shiva. Tishlechu. Tifkadu. This is the kal. All right. Now, we talked about this a little earlier in our class. Shalach with the kaf in the hifil is to throw. Shalach with the chet in the kal is to send. To send. And what's the subject here? It's 2MP, so do not send what? My direct object was in front of the verb. Do not send a hand where? Bo. That's bet plus 3MS pronoun. So do not send a hand upon him or on him. Or in this case, the context indicates that this is a negative idea, so you could even say against him. I think our translations will translate this as stretch forth, because shalach could have that sense as well. So don't stretch a hand against him, or don't send a hand against him, against Joseph. Yes?
That's where I had trouble on, was getting against out of that. So you could translate that as on him?
Yeah, you could, but the more Hebrew you read, the more you're going to see the other possibilities for ways of translating the prepositions. So most of our prepositions, when we first learn them, we learn the literal spatial translation. So the bet is literally inside of, right? But we will also learn some of the more metaphorical ways of translating a preposition. And so the bet could be in, but not in terms of space, but time. So in a month or in a day. And then sometimes against. All usually means over or above something. But it could also have the meaning of concerning or about, or it could also have the meaning against in a negative context like this. So the more you read, the more you're going to see that there are some other possibilities for these prepositions. And if you look them up in a lexicon, you're going to see the wide range of meanings that these prepositions can have. Yeah, when we get to reading a Hebrew text in the next semester, third semester Hebrew, we'll be using grammars that actually lay out a lot of the semantic possibilities for the prepositions, and so you'll get to see that more too there. All right.